Co-op Radio 102.7 FM, CFRO. This is the Monday Brown Bagger. The date is September 29, 2008. My name is Reginald Angus Argues. As our next guest, we have Cindy Sheehan, is an anti-war activist whose son Casey was killed in Iraq War on April 4, 2004. In August of 2005, Cindy and others bravely set up a camp and protested just outside of President George W. Bush's Crawford Ranch in Texas, where she gained support and critics. On July 23rd, just after Bush had given Scooter Libby a slap on the back of his hand for his crimes, Cindy announced her candidacy against the Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, who is the Speaker of the House, and all because she did not introduce articles of impeachment against Bush. Hello, Cindy?
Hello.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to come on.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
And before we begin, I just want to say that I was talking to a gentleman from Hawaii last night by the name of Foster, and he says that you have a lot of supporters down in Hawaii, and he wanted to tell me, he wanted me to tell you that today.
I know. I've been there several times doing events, and it's a great state. It's a great community there.
And the first question I have for you is, with the corporate welfare bailout of Wall Street now sitting at $700 billion, how much of a tax burden would this put on ordinary people's shoulder and their children's children before this bill is paid off?
Well, actually, they voted on it in the House of Representatives and it failed. So, that just happened about an hour ago. So we're really happy about that, but that the corporate elite are going to go back and try to ram it down our throats again. But it would put, if $700 billion goes through to bail out Wall Street, what we call corporate welfare, that would put a tax burden of $2,300 on every single American. But that's not the bad thing about the bailout, is that the Congress to give the Secretary of the Treasury $700 billion. Where's it coming from? Our country is already trillions of dollars in debt. We've assumed the debts of Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. They were guarantors of mortgages here. That already doubled our Treasury deficit. If we give the Secretary of the Treasury, Henry Paulson, $700 billion to buy mortgage-backed securities that are practically worthless, to buy them at rates that they are, more than they're worth, to help out Wall Street. That will further devalue our dollar, that's doing very badly right now anyway, could lead to hyperinflation and so many other economic catastrophes. It would be better to take $700 billion and put it into working people, to put it into jobs programs. As you all know, here in America, the United States, our infrastructure is crumbling. Our dams, our bridges, our levees, our roads, our schools. We could put people to work at a living wage. We could pump money into unemployment to help people get over this crisis until they get jobs with living wages. We can pump money into our food stamp program to help people. We could actually use the money to help people renegotiate their mortgages so they can stay in their houses and pay their mortgages. And this would be called, instead of trickle-down economy, this is what I like to call gurgle-up economy, to help. It helps everybody out, not just the corporate pirates on Wall Street.
Yeah, and that's so true. I was watching Nightline when the Republican and the Democratic convention was going on, and there were reports of Nancy Pelosi hosting a penthouse private fundraiser with private lobbyists. Then during the Republican convention, you have Tom DeLay, a convicted felon, being shown on Nightline of slipping in the back door of his fundraiser that he was hosting. With this in mind, what suggestions would you have to help clean up this backdoor old boys network of corruption and mayhem, which in turn would put the power back in the hands of the people?
Well, of course, also the Democratic National Convention was sponsored in great part by AT&T. And AT&T was given a humongous gift from the House of Representatives and the Senate in July about telecom immunity. They were cooperating with the Bush administration to spy on people without warrants, without obeying our Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act laws, and then their conventions sponsored by the people that they helped. You know, to me, it's just, of course, to me, it's an immoral conflict of interest, and it's helping corporations more than it helps the people. And there's many things we can do here in the United States. We can get corporate money out of politics. We can shut down K Street in Washington, D.C., where most of our lobbying goes on. We can have public financed elections to level the playing field. You know, Nancy Pelosi, my opponent, has raised, $2.5 million, and we've raised about $400,000. I mean, she can have all the free media here in the country she wants as Speaker of the House, but we can't even, the corporate media is shutting us out here. So we need to level the playing field that way. We need some kind of structured ranked voting system where we can vote for our first choice, our second choice, our third choice. We need more independent and other party voices in the debates and in our government. You know, third party like the Green Party. I'm running as an independent. Ralph Nader's running as an independent. They won't even let him in the debates. And you know, I know John McCain. I know Barack Obama. I know Ralph Nader. And I know if Ralph got in those debates, that people would start to question, you know, this two-party system that has a monopoly on our politics. And they all conspire together. I cringe when I hear the word bipartisan. That means that the Democrats and the Republicans are working together to, literally screw the people of America. So there's a whole lot, wide range of electoral reform that we need to undertake before we can have the voice of the people heard.